Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you a VBA user-defined function that I literally use in almost every Excel automation project. So here is the dataset that we're going to be working with today, and it's one of Spotify's datasets which is available on Kaggle. Let's say that I want to sort with VBA the data based on the number of followers each artist has. So this little code here will work, but the thing is that it always assumes that the column with artist followers will be on the 8th position, or it's going to be column H. And this is a problem because tomorrow someone may send me similar dataset, but the artist followers may no longer be in column H, maybe column E, maybe column K, or may not even exist, and therefore the code will break. And that's why today we're going to write a simple function that will return the column number based on its header name, and it will have the similar behavior that Python's pandas library has. And if you're familiar there, we can reference a column simply by passing its header name, and it doesn't matter in which order this column is stored. So back to Excel and to the Visual Basic Editor. And I'm going to add a new module. And I'm going to start writing a function which I will call get call num. And the function will need the worksheet name, because we will make it work for different worksheets. That's why we will need the name of the worksheet, which will be string, and also the header name, which will also be string. The function itself will return integer. It's going to return a number. And now I'm going to declare a variable ws as worksheet, and we can set worksheet to be equal to this workbook.worksheets and get this name here that is passed in the function. And then the idea will be simple. We will loop through the header row and we will check if the column header is equal to whatever is being passed here, and in such case we will exit the function. So I will have to find the last call first, and I will need another variable, and the last call will be worksheet.cells. I will always assume that the headers are on the first row, and then the column index will be columns.count.end Excel to left .column. This will practically return the last column as number. And now we can write a loop. So for I equals last call to 1, step -1, next I. And here is where we're going to do our comparison. So if worksheet.cells on row 1 and column I value, if this is equal to whatever is being passed here, so the header name, then and if, then we can assign the value to this function, and it's going to be equal to I. And in such case, we should also exit the function. If we can finish this block here in the for loop, and if we haven't exited the function, then that means that the header doesn't exist. Then in such case, we can return 0. In some programming languages, it's accepted to return -1, but I think in Excel it makes sense to return 0 because the column number cannot be 0. So now to check that this works, and let's start with the artist underscore followers column. So here in the immediate window, I can write get call num and test our function. So the worksheet name will be Spotify underscore data, comma, and the header name will be artist underscore followers. And if I click enter, it returns 8. But the idea for this is to be dynamic. So here, if I check part 1 sheet, here the artist followers are in column E. So if I test my function and change the worksheet name to part underscore 1 and click enter, it will now return 5, which is correct because E is column 5. And if I check worksheet part 5, here I believe that we do not have the artist followers column at all. So here, if I change this to part 5 and click enter, it returns 0. So that means that in a real project, we can write an if statement and saying that if this function returns 0, then do something else do something, right? So actually that's what we're going to do now. And we're going to loop through each sheet that we have, and we're going to check where the artist followers column is, and then we're going to sort by it. We will also change the header font to maybe red so we see it better, and we will adjust the column width in a way that we see the numbers here, because currently they appear in this scientific notation. And we're gonna sort in descending order. And if we do not find the followers column in any of these sheets, then we will mark the sheet. We will change its color top to something, so we know that this will indicate that the followers column does not exist in the sheet. So let's do this. So back to the Visual Basic Editor, and maybe I should maximize the window and start writing a subroutine, which I will call sort by followers, and I will declare a variable worksheet, and then we will loop through each worksheet. For each worksheet in this workbook.worksheets, next worksheet. Now we'll have to dynamically find the index number of the column artist followers. So I'm going to declare a variable which I will call target call, and it's going to be of type integer, and target call will be whatever this function returns. So get call num. The worksheet name will be ws.name, and the header name will be artist underscore followers. And now we can make our check. So if target call is greater than 0, then end if, and here we will have else. So if it's greater than 0, that means that in this sheet there is a column with header artist followers. And here we can first change the color of the header to red. So we can write worksheet that cells on row 1, and column index will be target call that font that color equals RGB red. Then the next step will be to adjust the column width. So we will write here, let's write a comment, adjust the column width, and we can write worksheet.columns, and the column will be target call that out of it. And finally, let's sort by followers in descending order. So we will have worksheet.columns.sort. The key one argument will be worksheet.cells on row 1 and column target call. The order 1 will be Excel descending, and we have a header row, so the header argument will be XO yes. So this is when the artist followers column exists. In other case, if it doesn't exist, we're gonna change the color of the worksheet to red, and this will indicate that column artist followers does not exist in this sheet. And this is very easy. We can simply write worksheet dot tab dot color equals RGB red. So this is the entire subroutine, and now let's test it. I will click run here and let's see what's going to happen. Okay, so here in the Spotify data worksheet, it seems that we have the artist followers column. The column width has been adjusted properly. The font of the header cell has been changed to red, and the data is sorted. And same is, I believe, here. This in column B, so it still works. And in part 9 and part 5, these worksheets are now red, so most likely we do not have a column with the header artist underscore followers. So this is it for today. I truly believe that this function can be very helpful in a real world project where you want to ensure that your automation works dynamically and you don't need to hard code values. So that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, then please drop them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.